in just a few short years, Ozempic has gone from an obscure diabetes drug to a byword for miracle weight loss. Now, with shocking new predictions for just how many Aussies may soon be signing up, Australia is set to change in ways no one's seen coming.
While it started with Ozempic, a host of similar drugs are now flooding the market, and they promise to revolutionise much more than just weight loss.
This, for me, in my 25-year history as a GP, is completely transformational.
Ozempic's manufacturer says half the population is in its sights. That's 13 million obese or overweight Aussies.
The playing field in terms of how easy or hard it is to maintain what we call a healthy weight is actually not a level playing field for each individual.
Setting these drugs apart, though, users not just reducing their calorie consumption by up to 35%, but also changing the foods they eat, dramatically increasing their consumption of fresh fruits and vegetables by as much as 55%, while decreasing their consumption of red meat, fast food and chocolate.
It helps them not crave fast food because you're less hungry, which gives you more time to make your food decisions.
This promises to completely overhaul what our highly profitable supermarkets sell and how, impulse buying having no impact on a population immune from impulses.
People have reported side effects, things like less gambling, better impulse control for shopping, and definitely less consumption of alcohol.
And while Australians might have spent $65 billion dining out at cafes and restaurants last year, patterns overseas are already showing that could be set to drop dramatically, especially fast food chains.
Sugars and fats are foods that people are really sort of drawn to as comfort foods. And when that particular desire is taken away, then they're actually able to more concentrate on foods that are healthy.
Our diet and health industries are in the firing line too.
You know, on the new Jenny Craig, you can lose weight without losing your shirt. And that'll give you leftover money to buy things that are really important. Like a thong.
Weight loss juggernaut Weight Watchers on the brink of collapse, set to go the way of Jenny Craig. Gyms and fitness instructors also feeling the squeeze.
None of these weight loss drugs are silver bullets. The best way to think of them are tools, and those tools need to be incorporated into the toolkit.
For decades, we've been preparing for a less healthy, more overweight society. So what does Australia look like with a nationwide glow-up?
Well, with us is Dr. Mike Mrozinski. Dr. Mike, what are some of the biggest behavioural changes that you've seen in patients on Ozempic?
So I think the biggest thing that I've seen in my patients that are taking Ozempic and weight loss medications is that it's actually giving people who have tried everything to lose weight, it's giving them hope. I think before, people felt shame that they were coming to the doctors and we were telling them, look, you need to lose a bit of weight, do a bit more exercise, eat a bit more healthy. And to be fair, a lot of people were doing those things, but just not seeing any difference. And I think these types of medicines have really, really helped. And when people start seeing changes, it really changes their lifestyle. It's not just about the weight loss, it's about how it affects their mental health and how it affects their lifestyle. And I think that's the biggest thing for me, that in the right patient, these medicines are real game changers.
What does the health system look like if just everyone's on this stuff? Are there things that disappear? Does it become cheaper? Like just all those sorts of things?
Look, I think the health system becomes better because you're basically decreasing the amount of chronic diseases. Every other week, I'm reading a new study about how Ozempic affects kidney disease, how Ozempic affects heart disease, how Ozempic affects Alzheimer's, how Ozempic affects ADHD. There's just so many things that we're now finding. So on one hand, you've got yes, we shouldn't be giving it to people who are not at risk of these conditions, but in high-risk populations, it really will take a burden off of the health system. There's going to be less people needing to go see their doctor. There's less people going to be taking up rooms in hospitals. And I think, you know, we do become a healthier nation.
There's talk as well of industry changing. So, for example, gyms, like less people going to the gym because they're going, well, I've got my weight loss sorted. Is that something that concerns you?
Yeah, look, a little bit. What I've seen from my practice is that people who have not been to the gym before because they would be too embarrassed, they might be shamed. It's quite a big thing to actually step foot into the gym for the first time. So a lot of people are quite scared. I do think, and from my patients' experiences, that once they lose a bit of weight and they feel a bit better about themselves, then they take the next step, which is to just go to the gym for 10, 15 minutes on the treadmill and do very basic things, and it pushes people in the right direction.
Dr. Mike, thanks so much for taking us through it.
Thanks very much. Thanks for having me.
It's so interesting thinking about the way that it is reshaping industry from, breweries or like alcohol companies, the hospitality industry. They're seeing cities that are operating very differently. I read a story recently about LA because people's habits are different.
Yeah.
Meals aren't the kind of salient point of their day anymore. I think, if this uptick stays the same, then we could see a very different world in 5 or 10
Shocking that
years.
LA would be that city, isn't it?
I know.
Yeah. Are you worried? Do you think that we lose something there, though?
Yeah, well, I guess it's an unknown. It's an unknown because of how quickly this is happening.
Yeah.